Hey YouTube, what's going on guys? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are having a great day. Today we got another video on Castor Maritime, ticker symbol CTRM. So yesterday, Tuesday, March 30th, Castor Maritime released their Q4 2020 earnings as well as their 2020 year-end financials. In this video, we're going to go over their financials, their numbers, and compare their 2020 results to the previous year, 2019. As well, we're going to talk about the Nasdaq Compliance as they have received a 180-day extension back in December 2020. And we'll talk about price prediction and what's in store for the future of Castor Maritime. Castor Maritime closed the day at just over 76 cents, 0.7610. Down almost 2% on the day, with a little over 32 million shares traded on the day. Market cap of approximately 386 million. Hey guys, if you like the value I provide, please subscribe, like, comment, share, and turn on post notifications. Thank you. So as a very quick overview, Castor Maritime is a dry bulk shipper based out of Cyprus. Castor Maritime engages in ocean transportation, seaborne transportation of dry bulk goods, such as iron ore, coal, grains, steel products, fertilizers, just to name a few. Alright, so let's get right into the financials. So for the fourth quarter, ending December 31st, 2020, for revenue, their net revenue was $4.4 million in 2020, compared to $2.8 million for 2019. Now this is a 57% increase. Now this 57% increase is very impressive because so much of their business was impacted by the pandemic. So you can only imagine how much the increase would have been if there was no pandemic. Castor Maritime was able to have such a high increase, this 57%, due to Castor Maritime acquiring and having these new vessels delivered, as well as obtaining new time charter agreement. Now Castor Maritime had a net loss of $0.8 million, so $800,000 for the fourth quarter of 2020, compared to a net income of $0.5 million, so $500,000 for 2019. Castor Maritime had a 1 cent loss per share for the fourth quarter of 2020 compared to earnings of 20 cents per share in 2019. Now the reason that there's a huge difference in the numbers, 1 cent compared to 20 cents, is because in 2019 they diluted their stock. Now regarding EBITDA, their earnings before interest, taxes, and amortization, it was $0.3 million, so $300,000 for 2020 Q4, compared to $1.1 million for their 2019 results. So we had a 73% decrease. This is mainly due to the increase in operating and company administration expenses. Castor Maritime's average fleet time charter equivalent rate of $10,257 per day in Q4 for 2020 compared to $10,789 compared to 2019. This is a 5% decrease. This reflects the lower average charter hire rates in 2020, which is mainly attributed to the adverse market conditions caused by the ongoing pandemic. So this is nothing new here, as most businesses were affected by the pandemic in 2020. Now in the fourth quarter of 2020, they had cash and restricted cash of $9.4 million compared to $5.1 million in 2019. This is an 84% increase. So this significant improvement, which is 84% or $4.3 million, is mainly a result of Castor Maritime concluding an underwritten public offering of common shares and warrants in June 2020 and a registered direct offering of common shares with a concurrent private placement of warrants in July 2020. Now let's get into the highlights for the year ending December 31st, 2020. The revenue for Castor Maritime for 2020 was $12.5 million compared to $6 million in 2019. Once again, this is a huge increase. It's a 108% increase. Castor Maritime had a net loss of $1.8 million for the year ending December 31st, 2020 compared to a net income of $1.1 million for 2019. Castor Maritime had a loss of 3 cents per share for 2020 compared to earnings of 31 cents per share for 2019. Now for their EBITDA, the earnings before interest, taxes, and amortization was $2.3 million for 2020 compared to $2.2 million for 2019. Now this is respectively a 5% increase. Castor Maritime's average fleet time charter agreement for 2020 was a rate of $9,765 per day compared to $10,471 for 2019. This is a 7% decrease. Petros, the CEO and CFO of Castor Maritime, had this to say. 2020 was a very challenging year, with significant disruptions in global trade flows and in the working environment which we are still experiencing as we strive to ensure the timely and safe repatriation of our seafarers. Despite these challenges, we progressed on our growth strategy and decisively executed on our plans. This success is a testament to our dedication and the strength of our business. In 2020, we doubled our fleet size, growing from 3 vessels to 6 vessels by year's end. This growth has continued in 2021 with the addition, once all deliveries are completed, of another 8 vessels, increasing the size of our fleet to 14 vessels. 2 of these vessels, our Aframax LR2 tankers, mark our initial foray into the tanker market and allow us to diversify across shipping sectors. Finally, the dry bulk shipping market is steadily improving and market participants expect a robust rate environment throughout 2021, which, if it materializes, is expected to drive our revenues higher. So with more and more vessels, they're able to acquire more time charter agreements, which will increase their revenue and their profitability. In addition to these factors, we must also consider the Baltic Dry Index, the BDI. Now, if we look at the chart, we can see that approximately this time last year, March 2020, is when the world went into lockdown. And if we look at the chart, you can see that the BDI was in the range of 500 to 600. And today, the BDI sits at 2,046 for Wednesday, March 31st. As well, this number was a little higher last week. It was in the 2100 range. So as the BDI increases, Castor Maritime will be able to charge more to haul their dry bulk goods. Also included in their press release for the financials and their Q4 earnings was a mention about their Nasdaq compliance. On December 30th, 2021, Castor Maritime announced that they received a notification letter from the Nasdaq granting them an additional 180-day extension or until June 28th, 2021 to regain compliance with Nasdaq minimum bid requirement. They have said, we can cure this deficiency in the closing bid price of our common shares is $1 per share or higher for the requisite amount of time during the second compliance period. Nasdaq may exercise its discretion to extend such requisite amount of time to better evaluate the registrant's ability to sustain long-term compliance with the minimum bid price requirement. We are evaluating all our options to regain compliance with the minimum bid price requirement within the second compliance period, including a reverse stock split. During this time, our common shares will continue to be listed and traded on the Nasdaq capital market. So as we can see here on the historical data, back in February 9th, 2021, shares of Castor Maritime closed above $1, and this went on for approximately 11 days till February 25th. So at that point, Castor Maritime was able to meet Nasdaq compliance of closing at least $1 per share for a period of a minimum of 10 consecutive business days. However, this doesn't necessarily mean that Castor Maritime will not be delisted. We still need to get the official confirmation. Now, as far as price prediction and price analysis, as we can see on the charts here that the RSI is at approximately 35. So technically, Castor Maritime is not in oversold territory, but we are not far off. Now, the market is still very unpredictable, so we're still trying to reach that high of 195 that we saw back on February 11th. But as we move closer and closer to getting back to normal, getting out of this pandemic, with the BDI increasing, it's only a matter of time before Castor Maritime shares start increasing and get past that $2 level. However, the dry bulk shipping sector is not a very glamorous one, so it may take a little longer for more investors to come in to help push up the stock. I hope you guys received value out of this video, but please do your own due diligence if you plan on investing in Castor Maritime, as I am not a financial advisor. Let me know in the comments down below, guys, for your price target for 2021. Do you think we're going to receive confirmation regarding the Nasdaq compliance? And if there's any other stocks you'd like me to cover and provide some due diligence on, please let me know in the comments down below or hit me up on Instagram. Please subscribe, like, comment, and turn on post notifications. As always, happy trading and see you in the next video.